Could the Lakers be in on getting a high-level defender and one of the best available players on the market? This would be huge for the Lakers if they're able to pick him up for the right price. And fresh off of their gold medals in Paris, LeBron James and Anthony Edwards will be facing each other on Game 1 of opening night, according to Shams Charania. What's good, y'all, and welcome to another Lakers Digest video. I'm your host, Okechi Apakama, and before we get into all that excitableness for today's video, guys, I just want to remind you to subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already to get those Laker updates. Now, with that out the way, let's hop straight into today's topics as the Lakers are eyeing Isaac Okoro. So, the Lakers, who have been well documented, haven't really made any moves this offseason. And for them to make any more moves, they would have to cut some players, whether it was via consolidation trade or if they were to cut some of the guys on the end of the roster. So, there is now a new rumor out there, according to Sports Illustrated, and this is the Lakers should be urged to sign Cavaliers free agent Isaac Okoro. Now, this is according to Evan Massey of Sports Illustrated. And then he just went to illuminate and say a little bit further about why the Lakers should sign him, as if the Lakers are interested in rounding out the perimeter with a 3-and-D wing who has untapped potential. However, then Okoro will be well worth their time. So he had a nice little tidbit there, and then he also talked about how Isaac Okoro is also still 23 years old, and he is a restricted free agent, so that is important to note here in all of this. So if the Lakers were to make a type of signing, it would have to be an offer sheet, and then the Cavaliers would have some time to match. I believe it's 72 hours they would have time to match the offer. Or, depending on what the Cavaliers are trying to do, they could renounce him, and then he becomes an unrestricted free agent, and then you can sign him outright. So there is still a lot of mishappenings. I'm not sure what the Cavs want to do with Isaac Okoro. I do know they did like parts of his game, mostly that defensive side of the ball, because he is a ball hawk. But offensively, he was showing some struggles for them, especially in the playoffs, that first round there against the Orlando Magic, and then also even into the next series against the Boston Celtics there. But as far as for the Lakers are concerned, if they are going to be able to get a guy like Isaac Okoro, I think he can be a nice, solid help, depending obviously on the price and then where he slots correctly on the roster. But let's take a look at his stats from last season, as Isaac Okoro, like I said, he's mostly a defender, so he averaged just about 9.4 points per game, about 3 rebounds a game, just under a steal a game, while his field goal percentage and three-point percentage are pretty high with 49% and 39% respectively. He was a guy that wasn't a high-volume shot taker, so that is very important to account there. While the percentages, while he took the shots, were very good, he didn't take too many outside shots or too many field goals for that matter, because he was mainly on the floor to guard the other team's best player. That's why Isaac Okoro was getting those minutes that he was for the Cleveland Cavaliers, because he's a high-level defender that can really change things for you on the defensive side of the ball. And that is what the Lakers would be looking to get for Isaac Okoro, and then hopefully you're hoping that offensive talent really starts to develop, especially the three-pointers. Like, you see the percentage, if he's able to take more three-point shots and able to still hit at that volume, that 39%, 38% from three, about 50% from the field, that is what you're looking for in a 3-and-D player. So Isaac Okoro is an interesting piece, albeit I don't think he is the perfect piece, as the Lakers do have some players who are kind of similar to him, mainly Jared Vanderbilt, who is a bigger and longer defender than him, and he also has some more tools on the offensive side of the ball, as Jared Vanderbilt is a very good cutter, and he's also a very good guy in the short roll, as he's a very good passer, and he used to be a point guard back when in his younger days in high school, so he has a little bit of those point guard skills, unlike Isaac Okoro, who's mainly just a 3-and-D player, more like a D and 3 player, because it's defense first and then it's the offensive side of the ball for Okoro. So if the Lakers were to make a deal for him, like I said, it's not the perfect fit, because his offensive game still needs some work. He is young, 23 years old, and then we have a guy like JJ Redick now at the helm, at the coach, and he's been talking about player development and getting guys, making guys better and getting them in game situations so they can grow as a player. So maybe that could be an avenue there for the Lakers. But just albeit right now as a player, if we're gonna try to fit him on this roster, especially when you have guys like Jared Vanderbilt, guys like Max Christie, even guys like Cam Reddish, who's still on this roster. All these guys are good high-level defenders, and if you're implementing Isaac Okoro into this, he's got to either take the spot of one of these guys, probably Cam Reddish, and then we can see how that works minutes-wise, and then who plays where, and then who plays best with what groups. So Isaac Okoro, if the Lakers are able to get him, like I said, at a reasonable price, like you don't want to try to overpay for a guy like this, and the Lakers don't have too much money to work with trying to get as they're barely underneath that second apron. So if they were to give a guy like him a deal, it wouldn't be too much more than the veterans minimum there, and then I'm not even too sure a guy like Isaac Okoro will take a veterans minimum, because he could probably get some more guaranteed money from another one of these teams here who could be looking for a D3 player of his caliber. But we'll see what happens in the next coming weeks as the Cavaliers have a decision to make for Isaac Okoro, if they are going to bring him back. But if not, and if his rights get renounced, then we can probably see some traction on the Lakers and to see if they can make a deal for a guy like him. But that's moving on to our next topic here, as the Lakers will play the T-Wolves opening night. So slowly but surely we are starting to get more and more about the NBA regular season. We got the Christmas Day schedule, so we know the Lakers are playing in Golden State on Christmas Day, and now we've got opening night. So this is from the one and only Shams Charania, and then he said that the Lakers will be playing on opening night against the T-Wolves at home, and then that will be the second game of the TNT doubleheader, as the first game will be the Knicks and Boston Celtics on their ring night. So as far as the Lakers, this is an interesting matchup just because mainly they haven't really been featured too much, the Lakers and T-Wolves, but they've had some good matchups here these past couple of years. Mainly because Anthony Davis really enjoys that matchup against Karl Anthony Towns, because, you know, former Kentucky dudes. And then also Rudy Gobert, he's also another guy that Anthony Davis really plays up for. So those matchups between the Lakers and Timberwolves for the past couple of years have been interesting. And then also Anthony Edwards, he always is a big gamer, so he loves those big moments, especially when you're going against LeBron James, who is the former guard, the GOAT of our era. And so now you're looking at a guy like Anthony Edwards, who is looking to become sort of like the next man up. So this is sort of like old versus new, and I do like that how the NBA matched him up for opening night, because the Lakers usually are either playing maybe the Clippers, say the Warriors, or say the Denver Nuggets. So like it's been one of those teams these past couple of years. But now to see a team like the Timberwolves kind of get that spotlight that they possibly deserve, because this is a team that's definitely going to be up there in the top 3 in that conference for the Western Conference, because they have a very deep team. Not to go along with Anthony Edwards, Karl Towns, Rudy Gobert, but then also they got Jaden McDaniels, who's one of the best perimeter defenders out there, Mike Conley, who's still solid as ever, and then their bench really helps them, especially a guy like Naz Reid, who is probably one of the best backup big men in the league. So it should be a very fun and interesting matchup between LeBron James and Anthony Edwards. And if the Lakers, for them to get started off on the right foot, I think this is a very solid matchup for them, because they do match up size-wise with the Minnesota Timberwolves, because they've got size there in that front court, obviously LeBron James and Anthony Davis, but then Rui Hachimura does play really well against the T-Wolves. He really does a good job of guarding a guy like Karl Anthony Towns. So I'm very excited to see how the Lakers are deployed in that first game there, how JJ Redick does in his first game, and just how some of the other players do. So say like Max Christie or Dalton Connect, how would they fare in that first game, in that first sort of like high level, all eyes on you type game. So I'm really excited to see this matchup for the Lakers, and hopefully the Lakers can come out with a win on opening night. But that's probably going to be it for this video, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. There is about 80% of you guys who are not subscribed to the channel. If you guys want more of that Laker news, Laker updates, and every and all things Lakers basketball, you guys want to come right here to Lakers Digest, so you guys do not miss any of those updates. And just let us know in the comments down below of what you think about a guy like Isaac Okoro. Do you think he could be a good addition to this Lakers squad? Or do you think the Lakers should be looking elsewhere for another player, possibly a guy who can be better on the offensive end? And also, what do you think about that Lakers T-Wolves matchup in Game 1 of the NBA season for the Lakers? Do you think that's a good matchup? Do you think the Lakers should have been matched up with another team there? Let us know in the comments down below. I have been your host, Okechi Apakama, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.